Title: Kofi's Magical Drum Adventure. Chapter 1: The Beginning. Kofi was a bright 6-year-old boy who lived in the small village of Ngoma. He wore a bright kente shirt and had a basket of sweet mangoes on his back. Every evening Kofi's mother sang lullabies while her brother juggled bright beads. The air smelled of cooking palm oil and fresh banana leaves. Kofi loved the drum circle. Each night the village drummaker, Old Tatu, played a long, deep rhythm that made everyone feel brave. One bright morning, Kofi heard a new sound, a soft, glimmering hum that rose from the edge of the forest. It sang the word "come." Kofi felt his heart drum fast with excitement. He knew this was the start of a magical adventure, and he packed a small bag with a banana, a water bottle, and his favorite storybook. After greeting his mother, he kissed his little sister and said, "I'm going to see where the music comes from." What would you bring if you were Kofi, heading into the forest? Chapter 2: The Journey Begins. Kofi walked under tall acacia trees. The leaves rustled like 100 tiny drums. He saw a bright blue feathered bird perched on a branch. "Hello," Kofi called softly. The bird replied with a gentle chirp and flew down. "I am Mbola, the wind breeze," it sang. It carried Kofi toward the forest's heart. Soon a gentle giant stepped in. An elephant named Jambo, with wrinkled skin and a patient smile, lifted Kofi onto his back. He felt the weight and the rhythm of the elephant's steps in his chest. The forest revealed a hidden hill where a stone glowed gold. When Kofi touched it, the stone sang a song of old, telling a story of people who lived there many years before. From the hill, a small tortoise named Nuru shuffled up to Kofi. "I am slow," the tortoise said, but its eyes glittered brighter than the stars. "I will take you slowly to the secret cave." Kofi laughed. "Can you talk?" he asked, and Nuru nodded in agreement. The song of the stone and the voice of Nuru made Kofi feel like a child in a storybook. Imagine you are a small lion and you meet a new friend in the forest. What would you say to them? Chapter 3: Cultural Discovery plus Wisdom Spotlight. From the hill, Jambo's footprints led them to a hidden cave. Inside, the walls were covered with pictures of dancing people, bright pots, and carved drums. A gentle music floated from a carved wooden door. When Kofi opened it, he found an ancient drum that did not just play but listened. The drum told Kofi an old proverb: "In a group of voices, one becomes a chorus, not a solo." The drum then shone bright and whispered to Kofi, "Wisdom Spotlight, teamwork." Teamwork means working with friends because together, we can finish things that solo would be hard. Kofi thought about his day at school when he used to find it hard to finish his math worksheets. He remembered that if he asked friends for help, they could solve together. The drum asked Kofi a question: "What would you do if you cannot solve a problem alone?" Kofi answered, "I would ask my friends." The drum smiled. "That is teamwork," it said. The sound of drums and laughter filled the cave as Kofi felt a new friendship grow in his heart. Kofi remembered the proverb and thought of his future. He would share in the strength of his friends at school and in the village. How do you show teamwork at school or with your friends? Chapter 4: The Grand Adventure. Soon the rain began to fall. The sky turned gray and the forest got slippery and full of thunder's roar. A strong wind kicked Kofi, Jambo, Mbola, and Nuru. A river roared in front of them, bigger than any river Kofi had seen. It was too fast for one creature to cross alone. The friends gathered together. "We can build a raft," Kofi suggested. Jambo carried the big planks, Mbola gathered reeds, Nuru found bamboo, and Kofi tied them all together. They all worked together, singing the drum's chorus. The raft squeaked, but it held. When the raft creaked, Kofi felt the rhythm and kept talking to his friends. "We have teamwork, so let's all push." They all shouted the same word: "One." Their voices made a loud, joyful sound that mixed with the thunder. The river shook, but the friends kept their rhythm. After a few minutes, the river slowed, and the raft floated to the other side. The sound of music grew louder, as if the forest itself was applauding. They sang a song the drum had taught them, a rhythm that made the clouds look like a drum. After the adventure, Jambo laughed, "We are good at teamwork." The friends felt brave, kind, and strong. What would you do if you were too scared of a storm while with your friends? Chapter 5: Happy Ending. When the sun peeked out, the forest smelled freshly clean. Kofi walked back into his village, carrying the glowing stone and the drum's song. His mother hugged him. "What is that bright stone?" she asked. Kofi lifted his hand and showed it. "It is from the forest, Mother. It sang a song for us." The village elders gathered behind Kofi, and he told them about the drum and the lesson of teamwork. The elders sang a new dance with the bright lights of the drum, and everyone joined. At dinner, Kofi shared his banana to each child and told them how teamwork made his adventure magical. Kofi promised himself that whenever he would get stuck at school or feel sad, he would call on his friends and remember teamwork. When the moon rose high, Kofi tucked the glowing stone into his small basket. He closed his eyes and listened to the forest's final song. He dreamed of new adventures, new friends, and new drums. Everyone in the village felt happy. The forest whispered a gentle promise that more adventures would soon come. Remember, the most important lesson of today is that when we work together, we can do amazing things, just like Kofi and his friends. Like, share, and subscribe so we can tell more magical African stories together.